This is Fox News Midday.
We got a guy with a long rifle. We don't know where the hell he's at. Parker garage. Building! SWAT guy, slow down! He's in the damn building right there. Don't know where he's at. He's in that building.
An ambush in Dallas. 12 police officers shot, 5 of them killed during a peaceful protest.
There are no words to describe the atrocity that occurred to our city. All I know is that this must stop.
Plenty of questions in Dallas this morning following the worst day for law enforcement since 9/11.
It is 11 o'clock, and here's what we know right now on the deadly police ambush in Dallas. 5 police officers, 1 Dallas transit officer, and 4 Dallas police officers have been killed. 7 other officers and 2 bystanders were also wounded. 1 suspect was killed by police in a parking garage where he had exchanged gunfire with authorities. At this time, the Associated Press is identifying the gunman as 25-year-old Micah Johnson. Some media are reporting that he may have served in the military.
A Black Lives Matter protest in Dallas ends with a deadly sniper attack, which is what we are alluding to.
Right. The police chief in Dallas says a suspect told negotiators that he acted alone and was unaffiliated with any group. Chief David Brown says Johnson was upset about recent police shootings and wanted to kill white people, particularly white officers. He says officers killed the suspect with a robot-delivered bomb after hours of negotiations failed. Even though Johnson says he acted alone, authorities are still not sure if that was the case, and they are still investigating to see if others were involved.
We won't expand on any further on what other suspects we have interviewed or looked at or their status until we get further into this investigation and get closer to a conclusion of what and who are all involved.
Chief Brown also commended the bravery of Dallas police and DART officers who were on the scene last night who put themselves in harm's way during the shooting in order to protect civilians.
This chilling video right here is showing what is believed to be one of the suspects. He's armed with a rifle, and you can see the suspect opening fire there to the right of the screen, using the pillars in front of that building for cover. It's unclear if the suspect pictured in this video is the one who killed himself during the standoff with police. Authorities are still not sure if they have identified everyone involved in the attack. And again, we're told that, in fact, the suspect was killed by a robot-delivered bomb.
And new this morning, audio from dispatchers and officers out at the scene have now been released. You can hear the fear in the officers' voices as the scene unfolded.
Assist officer, shots fired. Code 3, stay off the radio. Officer down. We got a guy with a long rifle. We don't know where the hell he's at. Parker garage. Building! SWAT guy, slow down! He's in the damn building right there. Don't know where he's at. He's in that building right here. He shot from that building. 69, we have got to get DFD down here now. He is one sick right now. 169, get him here. They're on the way.
Hard to hear. Right now, the organizers of last night's protest in Dallas are holding a press conference at the Dallas City Hall. Fox San Antonio's Michael Locklear joins us live with the details. Michael?
The Next Generation Action Network, which helped to organize yesterday's protest, is now holding a press conference. You can see a number of folks behind me. They just started within the last minute or so.
We extend
they
our
plan
deepest
to stand in
condolences
solidarity with last
to
night's
the
shooting victims, and they also plan to address some of the concerns raised by last night's protest. What I can tell you is that I spoke to Reverend Jeff Hood, who is not necessarily affiliated with that group, but he said that this demonstration was really his idea. And he told me 40 hours ago we organized a peaceful protest and it turned into a nightmare. He spoke about the devastation and this being an incredibly dark time for the city of Dallas. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what some of those folks are saying right now.
Taking any questions? We'll be taking media inquiries. Thank you very much.
My name is Reverend Dr. Jeff Hood. That's REVDRJEFFHOOD. I was one of the primary organizers of the protest yesterday. I can tell you that 40 hours ago when we decided to go out on a limb and see if we couldn't get a protest together to respond to Baton Rouge and St. Paul. Never in our wildest dreams would we have imagined, first of all, the type of crowd that showed up last night. Second of all, never in our wildest dreams would we have imagined that 5 police officers would be dead this morning. I can tell you what my experience was. I can tell you that when we showed up to Belo Garden, we were trying to figure out how to put an event together for a very large group of people. We were consulting different people on different routes to take during the march. Ultimately, what we settled on was consulting with the Dallas Police Department to determine where we were going, and we were in constant contact with them. As for the rally, we were interested in creating a space where anger could be let out. We were interested in creating a space where people could grieve. We were interested in creating a space where people could network to face head-on the problem of police brutality in our country.
And you've been listening to Reverend Jeff Hood, the Baptist preacher I was speaking about earlier. He says that he was one of the folks who helped to spearhead this and is standing in solidarity with the victims. Again, he said that the protest here in Dallas turned into a nightmare last night. Reporting live at Dallas City Hall, Michael Locklear, Fox News Midday.
Well, the shootings in Dallas and the other police shootings in Minnesota and Louisiana this week have left our local law enforcement agencies on high alert. Our police officers and deputies say they are going to remain extra vigilant. Our Darlene Dorsey talked with some of them this morning about what happened. She's live in our newsroom to tell us what they had to say. Darlene.
Yes, Ernie, the situation and the deaths and injuries of officers in Dallas has made this a sad day for many people. Now, it is tough to find anyone who doesn't have an opinion or concern about the shootings. The flag is lowered at the San Antonio Police Department's headquarters, and officers have covered their badges in respect to those who died in the line of duty. Now, the San Antonio Police Chief is out of town, but expects to talk to Mayor Ivy Taylor later today. Chief William McManus did release a statement early this morning. In part, it says this is a sobering reminder to all officers that they must remain vigilant all the time. And he also said we're asking citizens to be watchful and report any suspicious activity. Now, we were able to catch up with the Bexar County Sheriff. Susan Pomerleau says she offers her thoughts and prayers to those affected by the shootings in Dallas. Now, the sheriff also says that if anyone hears something, they should definitely contact the authorities. Now, here's what she had to say on camera, though.
We are saddened for all of America as we go through these kinds of issues, and it's a time not only for vigilance but especially of calm and our communities coming together to work as one, to focus on how we can heal and how we can make sure that these kinds of things don't happen here or anywhere else in America.
Yeah. Now, the sheriff says that deputies, whenever they can, are riding by pairs for safety. And she also said if you hear something or think someone's making threats, don't just ignore it. Contact the sheriff's office or the police department. Give them an opportunity to check it out in an abundance of caution. Reporting live in the newsroom, Darlene Dorsey, Fox News Midday.
President Obama spoke about the situation in Dallas this morning at the NATO summit in Poland. He condemned the attack, calling it vicious, calculated, and despicable.
Police across America, which is a tight-knit family, feels this loss to their core, and we're grieving with them. I'd ask all Americans to say a prayer for these officers and their families. Keep them in your thoughts. And as a nation, let's remember to express our profound gratitude to our men and women in blue, not just today, but every day.
He also said anyone involved in this attack will be held accountable. We also talked with Congressman Will heard this morning on Capitol Hill. He calls the incident a horrific tragedy.
People need to know that despite this tragedy, we need to be all working together to try to solve these problems. This is a time right now where we should be also praying for law enforcement, because they're the ones right now that are reconstructing the scene to try to figure out what happened, understand the motives, interrogate the folks, the 3 individuals that we have in custody, to see if this is a larger plot.
Of course, we will continue to follow this developing story right now and bring you the latest online and on our website, foxsanantonio.com. The Attorney General Loretta Lynch is speaking live right now, and that is being streamed on our website. You can watch that now at foxsanantonio.com. 11:11 right now, and coming up, music to the ears, the opportunity for your kids to get involved and hit some high notes at summer camp.
Plus, eyes on the Olympics, the way you can score a chance to view the U.S. Olympic swim team when they train in San Antonio next week.
My name is Joanna Deonda, and I am a medical billing and coding student at Career Point College. Having the instructors give us real-world experience has helped so much because they have been there. They have done the work. They have had the experience. They're able to bring it into the classroom, and what they are telling us that we are going to be doing once we go out into the real world is spot on. They really know what they're talking about.
Classes are forming now, so connect with us at careerpointcollege.edu.
Hey, little buddy, you got a whole lot of inventory. What's going on?
Well, we have to, Ice. That's how we have exactly what the customer wants in stock.
So what you're telling me is you're not